What's going on, everyone? It's your boy Comic Saint, and we back at it with another video. It's been a little bit. I filmed Comic Book Day vlog number 4. But I'm blanking. Oh yeah, I finished editing it and everything, and I was about to post it, but I low-key did not like the video, and it had too much stuff in the background. Like, I had a bunch of stuff on this whiteboard here, like personal info and I didn't realize they made it into the video. So just for security purposes, I had to delete the video, because it was like not 90% of the video, but like 50% of the video you could see like the entire whiteboard, and it was HD enough where you could like make other words. So anyways, besides the point, we are back at it. We are already in the chair, in the spot. So you already know this is not a new comic book day. But what we do have is, here is everything I read in the month of September. Now this is, let me show y'all. Look at this pile. It's fat. It's real fat. So we're gonna start with technically the U's and go all the way to the A's. There's quite a little bit, so get some popcorn, get a drink, boot it up on your second monitor, because we're gonna be here for a second. So let's get into this pile. Once again, this is everything I read in the month of September in reverse alphabetical order. Let's get into it. We got Spider-Man Ultimate Incursion number 4. Yeah, number 4. This one was pretty good. Pretty good. Probably one of my more favorite Spider-Man Incursion reads. Then we got Ultimate Spider-Man number 21. No, I talked about this in my last week's video. It was okay. It was a nice little twist. I don't like that they put like this on the cover, because like Spider-Man was in it for maybe like a panel, maybe 2. Next up, we got Ultimate Hawkeye. This one was a big one, but I got it spoiled for me on Twitter. I guess not the entire thing was spoiled, but a big portion of it, a big reveal in it, was spoiled. So if you haven't read it, go read it, because it will be spoiled if it hasn't already. Next up, we got, how many of these do I got? I got 2 of them. I got Superman Unlimited number 3 and Superman Unlimited number 2, with number 3 being a variant cover. I don't know which variant cover it is. And then this is just a regular cover. This story has been pretty cool. It's more of a grounded story. Number 3 was really cool because it was a lot about crypto. Basically, what if everyone could get their hands on Kryptonium is kind of like the theme of the first couple reads. Next up, we got Superman the Kryptonium Spectrum. Speaking about Kryptonium, this is another read about Kryptonium. Basically, he finds, it is a black label, so it's an elsewhere story, not a part of the main continuity, if you will. I guess that's what you would call it. But this is mainly about Clark finding different forms of kryptonite and exploring their effects on his body specifically, and it's been really cool. It's a fun read. The Ultimates number 16. Some people were really high up on it. I thought it was good, but not as good as others. I'm hoping this picks up pretty soon. The New Gods number 9, 8, and 7. This has been a really phenomenal read. I can't say that enough. The art, the cover art, everything about it's phenomenal, except for number 10 just disappeared. I can't find number 10 to save my life. It came out, and the week it came out, it wasn't even on the shelf at any of my LCSs. Damn, I just dropped like half the comics. So unfortunately, I am 1 behind on New Gods, and I think number 11 is about to come out. I could be wrong, but yeah, I could not find number 10. Next up, we got Marvel Zombies. This was a Red Band Marvel edition. It was okay. I don't know what I was really expecting from Marvel Zombies. It was a fun read, but I don't know if I'm going to be picking up the next ones. I might pick them up if I have like room on a random pool in like the middle of the month. I know my middle of the month pool list is pretty low. That beginning of the month is already getting to like $40-50, so that's a back burner pickup, I would say. Next up, we got Justice League Red. This is another super fun read. This kind of coincides with Justice League Unlimited. I guess We Are Tomorrow? Basically the Batman and Superman combination, because this is another Justice League type team. They handle kind of the crisis the world-ending crises that the main team can't handle because they're all super busy right now. So that's super cool. It's a nice little addition to the Justice League, and they don't even know about it. That's one big thing, is that it's a super like secretive hush hush team, kind of like their version of the Secret Six. I assume. I've never read Secret Six. Next up, we got 3 different Imperials. First, we got Planet She-Hulk. This was actually surprisingly a banger. I did not expect much from this one. I thought it was going to be the slowest one in the Imperial series so far because she's so far away from all the action, but nope, banger. Another banger, Nova Centurion. This was a really fun story. I'm ready to read Nova Centurion, his actual single issue series, or not single issue, because I think it's going to be longer than 1 issue, but it's coming up in November. And then we got Imperial War Exiles. If you've been reading X-Men, X-Manhunt, any of those, it's cool to see Xavier pop up here, because I feel like that's kind of where he ended off in X-Manhunt. I'm still reading through an X-Manhunt though, so I'm not 100% sure. But it's cool to see him there. Next up, we got Immortal Legend Batman. Number 2 was not bad, but not as good as number 1. I'm not as high up on the story anymore. It's still a good read. It's a fun read, really fun read. It's basically like a futuristic Bat family that has like more powers in line with like Power Rangers, or I don't want to say like the Radiants from Image Comics, because they're still like super like true soups, but I would compare more to like Power Rangers. Alfred, you can see Alfred on the cover. Actually, this is Alfred. You can see the Pennyworth on him. Hopefully, I'm highlighting the right part of Pennyworth. There is a Red Hood gang in there, so yeah. This was another one that I got something spoiled for me coming in the next issue, in issue 3, if it's not already out. So again, not really high up on it. But this one, this series, oh man, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 issues. So we got Green Lantern number 26 alternate cover. We got 25 alternate cover. We got 24 alternate cover. 23 alternate cover. And then we got 22 and 21. This series has been, I don't know if I would call it my favorite, but definitely the one I've been the most invested in. And I guess, yeah, I really have been enjoying this one the most. Like, everything that's going on, it's such a, like, everything does seem impactful, and like it doesn't feel like there's no stakes. I have that issue sometimes with comics where you know people's lives are at stake and whatnot, and like, you know, in a sense, if the hero doesn't win, are at risk, but sometimes the stakes just don't feel as high as they should be. And I think Green Lantern story does a really, really good job of showing like the stakes of the emotional spectrum and keeping that in check. Like, you see it multiple times throughout the story. First with the United Planets, and then you see Sorrow, and then you learn that like all these people getting these lantern powers without the rings is because, you know, the emotional spectrum is all out of whack. And then you have the story that's going on right now that's like part of it, you had people devoid of emotion due to some event that I'm not gonna spoil, but it does a really good job of showing stakes, and also it does a good job of taking like multiple stories and making them feel in line with one, because you have so many different perspectives. You have Hal, who's basically on his own half the time, and then you had a lot of stuff at the beginning of the series with John and Ellie, John with his new ring and everything, and like him balancing the powers, and also like dealing with a lot of trauma. And then you had kind of like the actual core corps. So you had Baz. Well, Baz kind of went and did his own thing now with Justice League Red. You had Jessica, who was dealing with like, basically at one point she was, well, I'm not gonna say that, but basically she was dealing with new roles, taking on more what's the word? Not restrictions, more not power either. Why am I blanking on this word? More responsibility. There we go. More responsibility. And then you had the others, like Ellie had her own like little mini arc. You had, whatchamacallit, you had a lot of the other lanterns come into the story because the emotional spectrum's out of whack. So it was just a lot going on, and they do a good job of like making it feel forward. Like, can everything kind of pushes the story forward, doesn't really stagnate too much. My only gripe is that you have to read Green Lantern Corps alongside the regular Green Lantern, because there was a one point where what was going on? They were at the Source Wall. A couple characters were at the Source Wall that were in the story, and something happened to Emotional Spectrum, and then in the next issue, that problem was basically already solved, and they were at the location where they were solving the problem. So it kind of just jumped from one location to another. Probably in Green Lantern Corps, because that story did line a little bit more with Green Lantern Corps story than the actual main Green Lantern story. So that's my only gripe. Next up is another series that I have a decent amount of. We have Exquisite Corps number 5, alternate for number 4, alternate for number 3, I believe, yeah, and then just number 2. This has been a great read. If you like comics but you're kind of getting tired of like the whole superhero thing, or maybe you want to try something else, Exquisite Corpses, you will not be disappointed. Some people are saying that it's like slowly kind of falling off or slowing down, and the hype is dying down. Personally, not for me. I think number 5 was just as good as all the other ones. It's very like Game of Thrones, kind of Maze Runner, in the sense where it's like the government is controlling these games that are affecting other people, and nobody really knows what's going on other than people directly involved. So super interesting concept. Honestly, I would not be surprised if we see that animated, or someone tries to pick it up animated, real life, one of the two. I feel like this piece of media is gonna come back real soon. Next up, we got Detective Comics, I believe 1101. Yeah, 1101. I picked this up for Hispanic Heritage Month because I'm making a homage to Hispanic superheroes and villain, and doing it on one of these walls just to get some decorations up. Maybe I'll do it over there, right there in that like empty spot. But yeah, super cool cover. Bane, the Man. It was a fun read. It was a good start to Detective Comics because 1100 was a anniversary edition, so there was no dialogue in it. It was literally just Batman helping out a kid pretty much, and 1101 is basically where it starts off, and it starts off on a new story. My sleeper pick. This has been my sleeper pick for weeks now. Okay, no, that was for this month. I just read number 3 as well, and it is Fuego. I did not expect the series to be that good, but it has not disappointed me once yet. This has been a really great read. It's interesting to see how some of the lower like tier list villains are doing, and the way they think, and like how they look at the other villains that are A-leaguers. But super interesting. I've liked that read a lot. Next up, we got Captain America number 3. Another fun read. It's fun seeing Captain America interact with Doom. Being someone who just got into comics. Matter of fact, we just hit May, June, July, August, September. This is month 5, or we just finished month 5. Technically, we're on month 6. We just started month 6. Half a year of collecting comics. So, not knowing, just coming into comics, I haven't really seen Captain America and Doom interact that much. So seeing that here, it was pretty cool. I'm sure I'm gonna see a lot more of it in the upcoming movies here, with Doom being the main villain. But next up, we got Batman and Robin number 1. Another great read. I've been looking for this for forever, but I got it for free on Batman Day. Great read. Everything I expected. As soon as I read number 1, I ended up buying Infinite. So I read 2 through 6, I believe, on Infinite, and then I went and got number 7 and read that this month. So that has been a really good story. And speaking about Batman and Robin, we got 2 more. We got Batman and Robin number 21 and 22. Memento is such a good villain. I hope this is not the last time we see him. I would love to see him in some type of live action or animated, some type of other adaptations, but Memento has been heat. And it adds like a little bit of mystic element that Batman sometimes doesn't have. And like sometimes it's a little bit more grounded, but I feel like this one is mysticism mixed with groundedness, because you have to have a lot of detective work, and the detective work is grounded in reality. Same thing with the Dark Patterns villain. I keep forgetting his name. I know it's not Puncture or something, Puncture Wound, something like that, but I like his design, and we don't get too many new Batman villains, I feel like, with that good of design, both Memento and the other one, the Dark Patterns one. God, I cannot remember his name. I've only read like 2 or 3 Dark Patterns on Infinite, but Memento, you could argue he kind of looks like Penguin in a way, but I think he's a good villain. And next up we got... Alright, so these are the last ones, and they are all absolute, so let's get through this absolute peak. First up, we got Wonder Woman number 8, Heater. I think once I pick up... Well, I already read 9, and I went back and read 7, because I found 7, thank God. Now I just think I need 10 and 11, maybe 10, 11, 12. But this is easily becoming my favorite absolute story. I'm not even going to lie. I think Absolute Wonder Woman is a little looked over right now just because it's Wonder Woman. But it's the fights, the story, the mythology. I mean, I'm a sucker for Greek mythology, or honestly any type of mythology. And it leans so heavily in that. I know Wonder Woman technically always does, but I feel like this one is just like every corner you turn. Finishing the story with Hades, now there's a Minotaur, like it's just so entrenched in that. And then the fights, it feels like every other issue there's a fight. So super engaging, super fun read. It kind of keeps the story constantly fresh, and I think she's the strongest. I think out of the 3, I know how people feel about power scaling, but out of the 3, Trinity 3 in Absolute Universe, I think she definitely looks like the strongest one. Like Kal is very strong, obviously. He's Superman, Kal-El. He's super strong, but he seems a little young. He's a little rash. He doesn't have... His head's kind of... yeah, And then Batman, he's still just a human. He might have had some things happen to him, but he is a human. The only other one is the Lanterns, but the Lanterns seem... I didn't fully understand it, but I did read it, so I didn't fully understand it, but they do seem broken, because the powers work a little bit different. It doesn't seem like it's constructs at all, just kind of energy beams. Next up, we got Superman number 11. Like I said, Superman's tough. He's hella tough. He's crazy. He's borderline crazy, I'm not gonna lie. Nah, I'm not gonna say all that. He's not borderline crazy. He's still Superman, but he is definitely... You can see that him being a little younger, definitely the things that he's going through affect him a little bit more. It definitely gets to his head more, and you can't really blame him. He's been through a whole lot. Next up, we got Green Lantern number 6, and I accidentally picked up 2 of these, so I might be giving one away. I don't know. I kind of want to hang one up. But this was I think about 6 or 7. If this is the right one that I'm thinking of, this was pretty good. Actually, no, it's number 7 that I picked up. This one was a little bit slow, but it leads up into 7. It's kind of the build up for 7, and I think 7 was a pretty good read, so can't really blame them for building it up, because it kind of needed it. But I just wish it would pick up a little bit more. We need to see what the actual Lantern Corps can do, because it's very... We saw a little bit more of it in Absolute Evil, or at least I'm talking about it a little bit more, but still haven't really seen the potential of Green Lantern yet in the Absolute Universe. Next up, we got Absolute Flash. Now, this one, I don't know how to feel about Absolute Flash. This has easily become my least favorite, because it feels so slow, and it feels like a lot, but nothing at the same time is happening. If that makes sense, because you have, Wally getting chased down while also meeting some people, so he's kind of, I don't know, like it just feels very weird. The writing doesn't feel... I'm not gonna say it feels strong. It's still like decent, good writing, but the dialogue is good, and the things that they're saying I think are good, but just the story actual pacing and like the way the story's progressing, I think is a little it's a little too slow. Like, we maybe saw him fight one of his rogues gallery for maybe just literally 1 issue, or like an issue and a half. it just pales in comparison to the kind of absolute. It doesn't, honestly, it doesn't really feel with, other than the stuff that happened to Barry. Spoiler warning, sorry, at the beginning. That's first issue though. So if you haven't read it, you know. Other than that stuff, everything else kind of feels like an alternate universe, but not absolute universe. I don't know. I don't know if that really makes sense. Like every other story with, especially Batman. Batman is the one that kind of set the precedent of like this absolute universe, just because of how his villains look and everything like that. And then you have Wonder Woman, who's literally a polar opposite of what she was in the main line, at least in terms of like background and where she grew up. And then you also see it in the things she's facing, like she fought a kaiju as her first fight, basically, and it was a kaiju who had a disgusting power, like, but she definitely, yeah, you definitely feel the absolute in that story. And then same thing with Green Lantern. Green Lantern's completely different. Superman, yeah, you kind of see like the absolute influences with, especially with Brainiac and Peacemaker, Chris Smith. You definitely saw that, where I feel like that's where Flash is kind of lacking behind. It doesn't really feel like it's absolute, other than a couple like small moments here and there. I mean, not necessarily small moments, but like one page it feels like absolute, and then it goes back to feeling like kind of, I'm not gonna say a regular Flash story, because it doesn't feel like a regular Flash story. Maybe like an Elseworld story, not an absolute story. But I don't know, I'm yapping. And the last one we have, or the first one, the way you want to look at it, is Absolute Batman number 10? No, 12, way off. Number 12, this is with him and Killer Croc after they escaped Bane. I'm super hyped for the next issue. All Absolute, why'd I have like a slight Australian accent for a second? Absolute Batman has been phenomenal. It's just kind of like, you read it and you're like, how is a regular, I wouldn't even call him a regular human, how is a human of his stature, you know, gonna keep going? Because these villains are like ridiculous. And then if you've seen anything about Joker, like what are we even supposed to do with that? Like, what is this dude gonna do with the Joker? Like, that's, I don't know. I have a theory. Maybe Joker is a white Martian, because the way he looks so like crazy. If you've seen the little like card of him in his like monster form, he kind of in a way looks like a white Martian, but we haven't seen the full Green Martian that much. I just realized I didn't have any Martian Manhunter in there. I definitely read one Martian Manhunter this month, but I guess I already put it in the box. Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, I guess I missed it. But again, I might be doing that soon. I might be doing an Ultimates and a Absolute ranking, and I'll just rank all of them, since there's not a ton of titles between the two. But yeah, man, that's pretty much it. Everything I got. This big pile, this was everything that I read in September. It was a minute. We sat here and yapped. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Super excited for this month. We already got a short read list. This is all I have to read, just 4 comics, and none of them are from this month. All of them are old pickups. Hope you guys have a good, what's today? Today's Monday. New start of the week. By the time you're watching this, hopefully it's New Comic Book Day. Hopefully you have a good New Comic Book Day, and hopefully by this Wednesday or Thursday, hopefully not Friday, hopefully by Wednesday or Thursday, I have the New Comic Book Day video up. Hopefully I post this here soon, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace.